The paradox is that people neglect their health to make money, to then spend that money to recover their health. The paradox is ridiculous. So it's a matrix in and of itself that you see all these successful entrepreneurs go through, all these successful people go through, when in reality, you're not successful. You have just mastered a lane. And the objective of life is to become balanced. And that's what the definition of wealth truly is, which is abundance. Wealth is abundance. It's not money. It's abundance. It's having what you need at the right time. That's all you need. If you have more, if you have excess, it can become a burden. Your goal is to flow, to move, to have what you need when you need it. And I say that as a person with a lot of money, which is maybe potentially hypocritical, but it's the truth. I don't want to be the guy sitting with a ton of material shit that's weighing me down from experiencing life. That's a matrix, again, in and of itself. Trying to catch up with the next rich guy and the next rich guy. Listen to me. There's going to be richer guys than you for the rest of your life. That's just the name of the game. And you got to be okay with that. So those are just my thoughts, G.
Let's talk about it's perfect. It's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the matrix. And more specifically, I want to talk about designed cycles. Whenever you mention this sort of cycle of damaging and then having to pay to repair your health, I started to think about other sort of mini versions of that. Why do they sell you shampoo? You condition your hair. Again, you remove the oils from your hair so you can pay to put them back in and do it over and over again. And I think that we see little microcosms of that everywhere. But I think what's really important when I create content like this is not just speaking abstract, talk in a way that if I am 19 years old, I'm at home and I love Luke Belmar's content and I want to get the fuck out of the matrix, right? How do I identify these things and what do I do realistically, right? Like what are my first steps? Where do I go?
Go do some push-ups.
Push-ups?
Yeah, go do some push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, how are you supposed to do anything else in life? Oh, yeah, the push-ups. Go do them. Go do 50 push-ups a day for 30 days. What, you think you're going to run a multi-million-dollar business? Oh, yeah, but look at all these guys. Yeah, the example is just establish discipline in some area of your life. Win in some area of your life. Win. Have a small win. You know the little monsters in your life that you shouldn't have. Those are the ones that you need to attack, and they're individual for each person. I said push-ups because for the longest time, I never wanted to do push-ups. Now every single day I do 100 push-ups. Just normal. Just boom, 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 boom. 50. Wait, hold up. 50. When do I do them? Before my meal. Crank out 50 push-ups. All right, perfect. I earned my meal. Now I'm going to go for a 10-minute walk after I eat. And these are the small habits that instill discipline and that allow you to become confident. So figure out what those things are. If you say you're going to read a book, read it. If you buy the book, read it. Don't read it all the way through. Read it to explore, to understand. Motherfucker, you buy the book, you don't even open it. You read the first 3 pages as if it was some sort of college book. It's your fucking self-education and the preservation of your mind. Treat it as such. Treat it with that importance. Surround yourself with good people. People that'll guard your energy. People that will guard your soul. People that will nurture you into becoming the greatest version of yourself. There's a lot of vultures, value vultures out there. Vampires of energy that will suck you dry if you allow them. Succubus. And it's important to identify these people and get rid of them if they don't want to change. Because in this journey of self-development, in this journey of becoming the best version of yourself, you're going to have to leave a lot of people on the way. And that's the price that you got to pay to become the best version of yourself. So those are, I think, some things that people got to be doing to level up.
You said earlier, right? It's simple. And it's actually easy in a lot of ways, but no one does it. And I've watched you over the last, how long, 6 months, 12 months, speak things into reality. And we had a conversation last night or the night before last about designing your future. You said you don't like the word manifest anymore, but you described to me in quite great detail the process of envisioning one's future outside of the constraints of time. right? And setting goals outside of the constraints of time. So you now, at the point of life that you're in, how are you thinking about setting goals?
I no longer set goals.
What do you do?
I do. So I focus on the input, and I allow, by universal law, for output to be emitted. So Newton's third law explains that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So whether it's at a planetary level or at a cellular level or at an energetic level, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what do I understand by that? In my life is that if I do something, there will be a retribution or a echoing effect in equal proportion to that, right? The energy is transferred and it's returned in the same proportion. So if I understand that I emit X amount of energy by exercising, I will have a guaranteed body and a guaranteed result, because I understand that by universal law that will happen. And I have plenty of examples in the real world to prove it. That if I eat healthy, I'll extend my life. That if I exercise, I'll extend my life. That if I do breath work, I'm going to release tension and cortisol and stress, right? These are all things that we've been understanding and proving and developing into that we need to be intuitive about. And I think that it's extremely important that people begin to be intuitive of who they are and having these self-talks. It's interesting. I don't think everybody speaks to themselves.
6% of the population, they said, doesn't have an internal dialogue, actually.
And I would probably think it's more, because a lot of these internal dialogues are controlled by emotions and systems and preconditioned environments that they've been set in, which is what the Matrix is. The Matrix isn't pointing fingers at a person. You're the Matrix. Like, you are part of the problem.
Because we've been programmed?
Because you haven't developed your own identity. Your identity is the adoption of what other people have told you things are. And I think people need to, yeah, sure, you can embody beliefs of other people and you can take these things, but make them your own. Embody them. Nurture yourself into them. And when you nurture yourself into them, the habit of becoming healthy, the habit of exercising, the habit of leveling up no longer is a chore, but it's a privilege. And I think people need to start viewing the fact that they can be healthy, that they have legs to walk, that they have a brain to operate, that they have hands to be able to type on a keyboard and make money online as a privilege. And if you understand that it's a privilege, then you begin to appreciate it. And the thing is, people take things for granted. And the paradox of life that I've found to be extremely interesting is that people put a lot of value in the things that they can replace, and they neglect the things that they cannot replace. So people put value on the Gucci belt, they put value on the car. All of these things are replaceable. But the things that they cannot replace, their health, their family, their mental state, their peace, they neglect. And it's paradoxical, and it makes no sense. So why up and learn the hard way when it makes more sense to live a life that is balanced and a life that has purpose and meaning? And I understand, go crazy, do your thing. But if you live a centered life, if you live a life of balance, a life with integrity, a life with direction, I think it could be a good life.
I'm with you, G.